back with your full check of the forecast, and we are tracking snow, which we've barely talked about this month.
We haven't. We've had 0 in Portland so far officially,
It's crazy.
and we're going to change that tonight, but not in a massive, exciting way.
Right.
But freshen things up a little bit, I guess. I prefer that. Like, you get to the weird part, like you have just a couple of snowbanks left, and it's it's not going to be spring, so there's really no point. We got to 37 today in Portland, technically above average, 35 in Bangor too. Nice day, breezy though, so sunny, mildish, but the breeze took it down a notch. Clouds coming in now just about around sunset here over southern Maine, and here's our next system. It's a clipper. These are well modeled usually. They're easier to forecast than nor'easters, typically speaking, because they just have a certain amount of moisture and they just move west to east as opposed to the dynamics of the ocean and all that. So these are usually a little bit more well behaved, and typically 1 to 3 inches is what you look at with these type of systems. So tonight it comes in, it looks like between 9 and 11 o'clock over southern and western Maine. Period of light snow initially, although I will say because temperatures are going to be in the upper to mid 20s, I think as soon as it starts snowing, it's going to be able to accumulate. There won't be any real delay as far as that goes. And so by 2 in the morning, there'll be a pretty good coating to an inch of snow on the ground. That's snow will continue through the early morning hours, likely breaking up during the morning commute over southern Maine, but staying tough through the mid-coast into parts of down east Maine through tomorrow morning's drive. So I think this will be the spot that'll be a little bit tough tomorrow morning from, say, Augusta to Rockland and just south of Bar Harbor. It moves out around 10 o'clock in the morning, though. After that, it is sunny, and actually the weekend looks pretty good. Temperatures around freezing with just an isolated snow shower around on Saturday, a bit colder but bright on Sunday. So Todd added a 3 to 5 inch zone here, and I get why, because there's a little enhancement, it looks like, on the models with what we call an inverted trough. So it's a little additional area of forcing in the atmosphere, and so that's why we have 3 to 5 there. The rest of the state, though, I think pretty consistently is going to fall into that 1 to 3 inch zone. It will be generally light and fluffy stuff. A couple snow showers Saturday. Sunday again looks bright but cold, and then it's quiet through mid next week. We actually warm up to the mid 40s by Wednesday and Thursday. Something here Thursday night, Friday. I don't know exactly what it is, but there's 2 lows that will probably become 1, and we'll see what that means. It's a stormy signal at the very least. So 2024 so far in February, nothing. But if we just get our forecast tonight within reason, we'll get knocked out of the top 5 least snowy Februarys. And then that begs the question, if we get knocked out of that, guys, what are we going to talk about at bars and stuff? If it's not a top 5 least snowy February, that's what people like to discuss. Quiet through next week, and we'll see what happens by late in the week. Nothing big, though. And look, I recall many good March snowstorms. Statistically, though, it does get a little bit harder as we get into March, and we're not far from there. It's crazy. It's just been a
weird winter.
Yeah, and I think when we talked about El Nino, this doesn't shock me that we're having a quiet, warmish winter, but I expect a storm or 2 at some point.
Mother Nature, if you're listening, give this man something to do.
Yeah, that's
Thank
true.
you.
Yeah.